Hey Sid, welcome to eXp Chats. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure, mate. This is the first time we've connected
Yes, it is.
online face to face. I mean, we've connected, through the eXp chat forums, etc., and
Yeah.
we've seen each other speak. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Sid, where you're based and what you're doing.
So yeah, I'm based here in Sydney, in a west area near Homebush.
Uh-huh.
So before joining eXp, I had my own brand, Realness Property Solutions, purely focused on property management. When I started the real estate journey, started with the property management.
Yep.
Built up a portfolio and then joined few big franchise before eXp. And now I'm with eXp almost 2 years now.
Wow.
Second anniversary, yeah.
When did you join? Back in 2019, was it?
2020.
2020.
Yes.
Just trying to think. That's about the same time I joined then. Yeah.
Yeah, January 2020. So
Yep.
Lisa B introduced me.
Okay. So how long have you been doing real estate for now?
About 6 years.
6 years. So started in property management.
Correct. So I was still working full time when I decided to join in real estate. I was just building up on side while working 9 to 5 full time in accounting. So I have an accounting background.
Yep.
But yeah, 2019 was when I pivot completely fully into real estate.
What was the reason for your pivot?
There was multiple reasons actually, some family urgency, and then my dad back home passed away. I had to travel back and forth to India, and then when I came back, I decided, okay, now I have this business, let's just focus full time, and that's the reason, like just love meeting people and seeing different properties.
Yeah.
Love properties. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. You do have to have a passion for it, don't you? Really, otherwise
that's right.
It's not going to work. But so you're from India. Whereabouts in India?
Western India. It's a place called Ahmedabad in Gujarat.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get home often?
Sorry?
You get home often?
We are going now in January, first time after 4 years almost.
Okay, I bet your tickets are expensive.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
So you got family?
Yes.
Kids?
I got my mom, my two brothers back home.
Uh-huh. And kids in Australia? Wife and kids? Or
yeah, wife and kid in Australia. We're living here in Sydney almost
in
16 years.
In Sydney doing real estate. So property management, worked for a few big companies, and now eXp for the last 2 years. You were introduced by Lisa B, who's another eXp agent.
I've been having a look at eXp before, like, long ago, even before it started in Australia. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure that, eXp model will be in Australia till the Glenn introduced to his, like, colleagues.
Yeah.
And that's when I noticed, like, oh, already 40 agents joining up. Why not,
Yeah. Okay. So you're an early adopter.
Yes.
Really. And what was it that attracted you to looking at eXp, like before it even came to Australia? What were you?
See, because I've seen different franchise group, what they're offering, and I worked with one of the franchise as well, like for a year, because working for yourself and by yourself, it's often lonely and hard.
Yeah.
Like, even though, you have all the intentions and everything, but if you don't have a support, like mental support, as in terms of team and, somebody to have a chat about what's going on, what's happening. So I thought, like, joining an eXp franchise is not going to limit me, but it also allows me to operate my own business still without closing up and just, full time with eXp, like what you do exactly with your own brand, but just have a backup by eXp group. So that's what intrigued me to joining eXp, because you get all the support. And most importantly, it's about networking to people. It's not about what they're offering, because everything you can get yourself, but it's about the network of agents and team, national wide, international wide. So yeah, that was the main reason actually.
That's interesting. So, and it's a real good point, because I've spoken to people in the past that, real estate agents or just getting into real estate, and they sort of said, they like the idea of the brick and mortar, still the very traditional model. And I think it's sort of just what we're accustomed to more than, it's a comfort thing. and I've sort of said to them, I said, well, look, at the end of the day, I've worked in offices and I've worked with big franchise mobs as well. And yeah, there's an office there, but there wasn't really a team culture or environment.
There was like it was all independent. If you look at it, even if you're part of big group like McGraw or Ray White or anyone, like you go in the office, you're by yourself. Like
Yeah.
you pretty much do stuff your own way, and still having to share big chunk of money, whenever you produce. And I thought like, no, there has to be a better way. So that's like ever since I've started, actually, I had one goal in my mind is to have my own brand,
Yeah.
my own company. And eXp has provided that opportunity. Like, if I join them, it's not going to change much, but I can get more out of like, being part of eXp. So some people like you do encounter sometime, when you go to listing presentation, it's like, okay, who are you working with? People are known to all this big franchise and they haven't heard your name as a boutique agency.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time to build a reputation, build a brand and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought like, okay, I've got my own business, which is a boutique agency based here in Sydney. But if I do join somebody like who can open up a network of not just national wide, but internationally, why not?
Mm-hmm. Mm. And so you've had your brand, you've joined with eXp, you've found support like the resources, the team, the culture quite good.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely. Like as weekly catch up with all the agents, Icon agent talk, and you get to listen to experience like yours, Icon agent, and
Yeah.
what you guys do, how you do it. You learn a lot of things, and it's very approachable. Like I can ring you anytime and just ask questions,
Mm.
which is absolutely fine.
It's good, isn't it? Because I mean, looking at the models that I worked for, they all promised, all these resources and training. And look, there are good companies out there that do that sort of thing,
Yeah,
but in my experience, it wasn't really available, and there seems to be this sort of competitive nature to those businesses. Whereas eXp, I'm doing my own thing, but I can tap into the likes of yourself or anyone else in the company
yeah.
that shares their information, shares what they're doing, to help me improve my business from mine. And it's a very collaborative sort of environment, but also a friendly environment where we all just get on and
Yeah,
and catch up.
and it's good to be like part of something big from early on.
Mm.
When because we know like where it's heading to, and it's just matter of time. When it becomes a well-known brand in Australia,
Yeah.
so you get the benefit of both worlds.
And you've got Indian operations now as well, yeah? We're
Oh
over in
yeah, in
India.
India as well, it's big, I think.
Yeah. So
I
do you have a
haven't
team
tapped
over
into any
there?
opportunity. No, I haven't spoken to anybody in India yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be nice to connect with somebody there and just see if we can share ideas and start uh, having more team members joining EXP.
Is your focus, because I mean, part of the offering obviously is the eXp platform that gives us all the tools to do real estate business, but we've also got the side where we can build our own team. Do you have a focus on building a team, or are you purely just
Not
focused on your
really.
business?
Like even though there's so many good benefits to have if you build a team, but I'm not focusing on building a team. I'm focusing on running my business, like selling and stuff. Like
Yeah.
the more property I list and sell, the more property I manage, and grow my business that way.
Yeah.
And the other benefits just comes naturally. If you perform well, it's just icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I like it. So what would be your three key well, not three key takeaways. What would be the three most important factors of why you love working with eXp?
Independency,
Yeah.
not much restriction on how you do stuff
Yeah.
in terms of branding, and you just follow basic guidelines basically, and it just gives you a platform so that you can have your own hours, your own techniques.
Yeah.
And just yeah, it's independency is the big thing, and the networking is the second biggest important thing I joined EXP for.
Yeah.
You're not alone,
Yeah.
because real estate is all about networking. Like you might have clients, not always looking to do anything in your pocket where you are.
Yeah.
There might be people like wanting to buy properties elsewhere, have properties elsewhere, like they need service with the like similar agent like you or myself, like, you can always recommend and refer them to other eXp team members.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing to have. Like, you're just not limited to one office or one area as such. So eXp has just opened up a whole new world of opportunities.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm just thinking back to when I worked with Ray White. I mean, we worked in a franchise group, but we didn't really have a connection to other franchise groups, and the agents within those groups were very much separate and almost competitive. Actually, where I worked, there was another Ray White mob that was a separate franchise, and we never collaborated or shared. Whereas eXp, I had it the other day. I got a referral for a friend of mine actually that was looking to sell, not in my area. So I sent it on to a couple of the eXp agents that I'm connected with. And they've done the same to me in the past, So it's great to have that. And as you said, as we go, we're about 140 agents now in Australia. That'll get to 1,000 in the matter of a few years, I think.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time. Like, eXp has been working hardly, like, just continuously, like, changing and adapting to the requirements, which is good.
Yeah.
They listen to individual agents, what they need.
What would you say to someone, because I know there's a lot of people out there that run their own boutique agencies, run their own businesses, and, probably doing quite well. What would you say to someone going, why would I go with eXp when I've got my own thing going on anyway?
That's exactly what I thought. And I've been asked that same question again and again. Like, you got everything set up for yourself. Why you bother joining eXp and sharing your piece of cake with them?
Yep.
And my answer to them was like, it's not about sharing commission or joining them for any particular reason than the networking. So the biggest benefit I see joining eXp was to joining and tapping on a big network of agents.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And I can't agree more. I mean, the network that I've created through the team that I've joined is global, international, and part of one of the biggest teams with eXp in the world. And the resources that gives me is phenomenal. Like yourself, you're part of these teams, and even separate teams. We're all sort of together and collaborating as well.
Yeah.
But the other point too, I mean,
you
don't have to have your own trust account. You've got all the tools and resources there for a much lower cost than otherwise it would be to do it yourself.
Yeah. So basically, like, the way I operate my business is like, it's the sales side of the business.
Yep.
Is completely through eXp.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else, I have my Realness Property Solutions, which I do property management, which is local, hyper local, because with property management, you've got to be there. You've got to be on the ground just to manage the properties around your area.
I agree. Mate, Sid, nice to connect.
Yeah, same here, Lee. Thank you so much.
If anyone wants to ask Sid more questions, I'm sure he's open it to him. You can find his details online. Give him a call, have a chat to Sid as well. And or myself, give us a call. And happy to share more about this great opportunity. Yeah,
I would love to share anything I can, to assist them with their decision. Like, if anybody is like me or you thinking about joining and, not sure why they should be joining, I'm happy to have a chat.
Reach out. Yeah, I did the same thing. I looked up just the eXp agents online and then started to just call people and said, "What do you think?" And every response I had was above and beyond. People just loved it. So that helped concrete the idea in my head that I should make the switch, which I did. So
no, that's great.
Cool, mate. Thanks so much, Sid.
No problem, Lee.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Talk again.
Sure.
Cheers.